Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the All in English podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Andrew. And today we're talking about something that most people completely skip, and it's quietly costing them more than they realize.
You set a goal. You work toward it. You make progress. And then nothing. No recognition, no celebration, no acknowledgement. Just, okay, next thing.
Like your own progress is invisible to you.
And in this episode, we are going to talk about why that happens, what it costs you, and why celebrating the small things, the tiny, unglamorous, everyday wins, might be one of the most powerful things you can do for your motivation, your energy, and your happiness.
No big dramatic revelations, just one small shift that changes everything. Let's go. Okay, before we start, I want to play a quick game. And here's the rule. You absolutely cannot choose 7. 7 is the safe number. 7 means, things are okay. Please don't ask me more questions.
7 is the number you choose when you don't want to think about it.
Exactly. So, rate your progress in life right now from 1 to 10. How far have you come toward the things that matter to you? And here's the twist. Before you answer, think about one small thing you did this week. Not a big achievement, something small. You showed up. You tried something. You kept going on a day when you didn't feel like it.
Does that change your number?
For most people, it does. And that shift right there, that is what today is about. And you, friend, think about this in English for 1 second. Finish this sentence in your head. One small thing I did this week that I never gave myself credit for was blank. Just one. That's already practice.
Today, we want to give you 2 things, real B2 English to talk about progress, motivation, and personal growth in a natural way, and a message. The small wins are not the consolation prize while you wait for the big ones. They are the whole game.
And we're not here as people who have this perfectly figured out. Honestly, we both still fall into the trap of ignoring our own progress, but that's exactly why we want to talk about it.
This is a B2 episode, natural English, but we'll speak clearly and explain new words as they come up. You don't have to catch everything. And if something moves fast, listen again later. That second listen is magic.
If you're a strong B1 listener, stay with us. Some parts will stretch you a little, and that stretch is exactly how your English grows.
Let's start with a picture. Imagine you are climbing a mountain, and every few steps you stop and look up. How far is the top? Still very far, still so much to go, and you feel tired and small, and you wonder if you're even moving at all.
But you never look down.
You never look down. You never see how far you've already come, the valley that is now far below you, the distance that your legs already covered. All of that invisible, because you're only watching the top.
And that is exactly how most people experience their own progress, always measuring from where they want to be, never from where they started.
And the name for this is the arrival fallacy. The arrival fallacy means the belief that when you finally reach the goal, the big one, the real one, then you will feel good. Then you will be satisfied. Then you can celebrate.
But the arrival almost never feels the way you imagined it would.
Almost never. Because by the time you arrive, you've already moved the target. The goal got bigger, the bar got higher, and the celebration lasts about
4 minutes, maybe 5 if it was a really big goal.
And then it's, okay, next thing, and the cycle starts again. Always climbing, never looking down.
I had this exact experience last year. I finished something I had been working on for months, something genuinely hard, and the moment it was done, I felt nothing. Not proud, not happy, not relieved, just immediately aware of everything else that still needed to be done.
Like the finish line disappeared the moment you crossed it.
Exactly. And I remember thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just feel good about this? And the answer was, I had never practiced feeling good about the small steps. So when the big moment came, I didn't know how to receive it.
And that is the real cost of ignoring small wins. It's not just about motivation in the short term, it's that you train yourself over time to be blind to your own progress. And a person who is blind to their own progress is very hard to motivate because nothing ever feels like enough.
So what is a small win, actually? Because I think people hear that and think, oh, you mean like congratulating yourself for making your bed.
Well, actually, yes, sometimes exactly that.
Really?
A small win is any moment you acted in alignment with who you want to be, where you chose the slightly harder, slightly better, slightly more intentional thing, even in a small way. You made the bed. You sent the difficult message. You showed up to practice even for 10 minutes. You listened to this podcast instead of scrolling.
Wait, listening to this podcast is a small win?
Absolutely. You chose to learn something today. You chose to grow. That is not nothing. That is actually everything done consistently over time.
I feel genuinely better about myself right now.
Good. That's the point. And here's what the science says, and this is really interesting. When you acknowledge progress, even small progress, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical associated with reward, motivation, and pleasure. And that dopamine hit doesn't only feel good, it fuels the next action.
So celebrating a small win is not self-indulgent. It's actually neurologically strategic.
Exactly. You're not being soft. You're training your brain to want to keep going.
Okay, but here's my honest question. How do you actually celebrate a small win without feeling ridiculous? Like, do I just stand in my kitchen and applaud myself?
I mean, if that works for you, Andrew.
It does not work for me.
Okay, so celebrating a small win doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't require a party or a social media post or anyone else's involvement. It can be as simple as pausing for 5 seconds and saying, I did that. That was real. That counts.
Just acknowledging it?
Just acknowledging it. Out loud, in your head, in a journal, whatever works for you. The form doesn't matter. The pause matters. Because without the pause, the wind passes through you without leaving a mark, and you need it to leave a mark.
And there's something else I want to say here, especially to anyone listening who's learning English right now. Every episode you finish is a small win. Every word that suddenly makes sense, every conversation you have in English, however imperfect, every time you understand something you didn't understand before.
That is real progress, and it deserves to be noticed.
Not by us, by you, because you are the one doing the work.
And maybe right now, try this in English. Say quietly to yourself, I am making progress. Even when I can't see it clearly, even when it feels slow, I am moving forward. Say it. Mean it.
Because the mountain is real, and you are already higher than you were.
Progress is not always loud. Sometimes it's just still here, still trying, still going, and that is enough to celebrate.
Let's slow down and do our word tour. Key words from today explained clearly and slowly. Repeat with us or just listen.
Small win. A small but meaningful moment of progress. Any action that moves you forward even slightly toward who you want to be or what you want to achieve. For example, finishing this podcast episode is a small win. You chose to learn something today instead of doing nothing. Or she started writing down her small wins every evening and felt more motivated within a week. Repeat. Small win. Small win. Slowly. Small win.
And remember that you can always come back to this word tour and listen again. Each time the words feel more natural. That's how progress works, in small steps.
Arrival fallacy. The mistaken belief that reaching a big goal will finally make you feel satisfied, happy, or complete, when in reality the feeling fades much faster than expected. For example, he worked toward the promotion for 2 years and felt empty 3 days after getting it. That's the arrival fallacy. Or, Understanding the arrival fallacy helps you stop postponing happiness until the destination and start finding it on the way. Repeat, arrival fallacy. Arrival fallacy. Slowly, arrival fallacy.
I had never heard this term before I started thinking about this topic, and now I see it everywhere.
Dopamine, a chemical in the brain associated with reward, motivation, and pleasure, released when you achieve something, experience something enjoyable, or make progress toward a goal. For example, acknowledging a small win triggers a dopamine release, which motivates you to keep going. Or, the brain doesn't distinguish between a huge achievement and a small one when it comes to dopamine. Both count. Repeat, dopamine. Dopamine. Slowly, do-pa-mine.
To acknowledge, to recognize and accept that something is real, true, or valid, to give it the attention it deserves. For example, she learned to acknowledge her small wins instead of immediately moving to the next task. Or, simply acknowledging your progress, even silently, changes how you feel about the effort you're putting in. Repeat, to acknowledge. To acknowledge. Slowly, to acknowledge.
And remember, you can always come back to this word tour and listen again. Each time, the words feel more natural. That's how progress works, in small steps.
Alignment. When your actions match your values, your goals, or the person you want to become, you are acting in alignment. For example, every time you choose the slightly harder, better thing, you are acting in alignment with who you want to be. Or, small wins feel meaningful because they represent alignment, proof that you are becoming the person you decided to be. Repeat, alignment. Alignment. Slowly, alignment. That word hits differently when you think about it for a second.
Momentum. The energy and motivation that builds when you keep moving forward, each small action making the next one easier and more natural. For example, she didn't feel motivated at first, but after 3 small wins in a row, the momentum took over. Or, momentum is not something you wait for. It's something you build, one small win at a time. Repeat, momentum. Momentum. Slowly, mo-men-tum.
To celebrate. To acknowledge and honor something positive, not necessarily with a big gesture, but with a conscious moment of recognition and gratitude. For example, he celebrated finishing the chapter, not with a party, but with 5 seconds of genuine acknowledgement. I did that. Or, learning to celebrate small things is a skill, and like any skill, it gets easier the more you practice it. Repeat, to celebrate. To celebrate. Slowly, to celebrate. And if you want extra practice, replay this word tour and shadow with us. Say the words at the same time we do. You don't have to remember every word today. Even 2 or 3 that stayed with you is already a small win.
See what he did there?
You have been climbing, maybe for a long time, maybe without anyone noticing, maybe without you noticing.
And, we are not here as people who always remember to look down and appreciate how far they've come. Some weeks we forget completely, but we are getting better at it. And that is a small win.
Remember that mountain we talked about at the beginning? Tonight, just for a moment, look down. Not to stop climbing, just to see how far you've already come. The distance is real, the effort was real, and you are still here.
Tonight, before you sleep, do one thing. Find one small win from today. Just one. Maybe you showed up for something difficult. Maybe you kept a promise to yourself. Maybe you listened to this whole episode in English. Write it down or just say it quietly. I did this today. It counts.
And if this episode gave you something, please like it, subscribe, and share it with one person who works incredibly hard, never celebrates anything, and wonders why they're always exhausted and never satisfied.
In the comments, tell us your small win from today. It can be anything, big or small. It all counts. We would love to read every single one. And if you want more episodes about motivation, progress, and growing as a person, subscribe and come back every week. We will be here.
Progress is not always loud. Sometimes it's just still here, still trying, still going, and that is enough.
This is Emma.
This is Andrew.
And you have been listening to the All in English podcast. Bye.